Hi everyone, it's Kathy, the Backyard Stamper, and I'm sorry I'm late, but I was still crafting and lost track of time. Tonight I'm going to show you the new Stampin' Up! Hot foiling machine. I have to admit I am totally hooked on this thing, and I will show you some of the things I've made and things I'm getting ready to make and all that kind of stuff. So let me flip the camera down, and as always, if you're new to my channel, you can just scan this QR code to sign up for my newsletter. And if you have any questions after today's presentation, please send me an email, Kathy at backyardstamper.com. And if you're interested in ordering the hot foiling machine, it's kathyschmitt.stampinup.net. So I'm printing out the brochure that goes with this. So as soon as it comes out of the printer, I will be able to show you more details. Let me put this up so you can see what I am working on. Oh, you know what? It timed out. There we go. Okay, so I have my thing and I have my piece of foil right here. I cut it ahead of time. Let me show you. All right, and this is the piece I'm going to hot foil on, which is my dark. This is two-tone cardstock, and I want to foil on the lighter side, okay? So I am going to, you have to use, don't ignore this mess on my shim. I accidentally hot foiled my plate. I'm putting down, oh darn it, I'm putting down my foil. And I have a piece of the two-tone. Now I'm going to hot foil on the lighter side. And let's see here. Yep. So I learned, don't fold it in half ahead of time. So my foil is the same size as what I need. So I just put that right on top of the foil. I think I put that on too early, but I don't. So there's these buttons here, and when that flashes, I shouldn't have put my cardstock or my foot. There we go. Good. I was like, I'm jumping the gun. All right. So now you need your stamping, cut, and emboss machine. I'm going to unplug my machine. So I had this all warmed up. So that's why I'm like, if you don't use it right away, it times out, and then I got to start the timing all over again. So my sandwich was the die plate, and I am using this Botanical Glow hot foil die, and then you put that on face up. Then you put the foil shiny side down. And then when it all beeps and you're ready, then you put it in your Stampin' and Cut and Emboss machine. And it doesn't fit our old black Big Shot. I had a brain cramp there. It's just 1/4 of an inch too wide. If you have a die cutting machine that's 6 1/4 inch wide, then you can use that to run your die cutting or your hot foiling through. Otherwise, you're going to want to get this Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. All right, let's see what we got. So you take this off, and then we have this handy dandy little magnet thing. Picks up your die because that's hot, and you want to plug this back in so you're ready for the next project, because it takes 6 minutes to warm up, but once you're going, like it won't take a full 6 minutes for this. Okay, so that's the next one I'm going to do. So let's take a look at this here. Hi, Ian. Hi, Debbie. Yay. Ian, thanks for signing up for that swap. I'm really happy about that. Okay, ready for the big reveal? Oh, look at that. So I am going to fold this and hopefully, yep, I did it right. See, I had cut my foil the same side as my card front. And I'm going to show you my first attempt and what not to do. So hold on 1 second here. Let me do that before I go any further. So this was my first attempt. And I ran it through and I got all this over foiling. So then I tried to erase it and messed up my card. Now I can still use this. I'll just trim it down a little lower. But I was like, I've never had any over foiling ever. And then I realized I had put it in folded. So it was like an extra shim. So you don't want to do that. One layer of cardstock, and look at the impression on the back, which actually is kind of cool. So I'll cut this apart and use both pieces, but this is really what not to do. Then my finished card is this, and oh, my beeper went off, so let me put my next die on. It's just right here, this one here. We're going to hot foil this big puppy here too. Let's see, which side did I like? It doesn't really matter. All right, and then so it beeped to tell me it was ready. It got a solid color. I put my die on, and now when that turns green, it's ready for the foil. So on this one, see how I have some extra leaf? I don't know if it's catching it. See it right there? You can see a little bit of a extra. So two things. Well, what caused that is I put my foil down and then I picked it back up and moved it because I had put it down with my cardstock and I had forgotten and I'd folded it again. So when I went to open the cardstock, it moved the foil. So I opened it and laid it all back down, but this had already left a little bit. So I think it's still beautiful. And there's my card. Just lovely. I didn't want a big tag because I don't want to cover that up. So this is the card we're going to make, but let me get ready to hot foil this piece here. I've got my piece of foil and I'm going to do vellum this time. So sorry I was late. I was just playing and, you know, got distracted. I'm going to mount this piece right on this piece of foil or gold here, and I cut the center out to use on another project later because I don't like to waste that much gold. That's a lot of gold to waste. Okay, so see how it went green? So now I'm going to lay my foil down, my piece of vellum, my green shim, and the clear shim. All right, unplug, get my Stampin' Cut emboss machine. We'll assemble our cards in just a minute. Let's do this part so I can get the hot stuff out of the way. Okay, and you do have to crank it slowly. And they also don't recommend coming back with it. I did the other day when I was doing the Swiss dots, and that was just because I'll show you after, but it's easier to pick it up with the handle. I almost want to put it through with the handle first so that when it comes out, the handle's right there for me. I'll have to try that sometime and see if that works. Okay, so this one here is called Garden Silhouette, which it is currently out of stock, but it will be coming back. So you take this little handy magnet thing. And where I'm putting it is they gave another silicone mat. Comes with your machine. Just like you would set a hot iron on. And you just put it over there so it's cooling without touching your surface. And this has a silicone pad underneath it. And I'm just going to scoop this out of the way because I don't want to burn myself. Okay, and I can move the shim too. And this, all of this extra foiling is not going to transfer to your card at all. It will come off with a magic eraser or alcohol wipes. So I left it there and I'll show you why in just a minute. And I think it'll give you a little bit of a smile on your face. Okay, so did you see I peeled it off and look at that beautiful piece. Oh. All right, so I'm saving these negatives because I just found out that in the next hot foiling release, they're going to give us a solid base. So when I was doing some negatives before, I used this one and I would use this whole back area, but they're going to give us a big solid plate. So we'll be able to roll that back through on the negative. It's pretty awesome. All right, let me trim that. Actually, do I have, okay, this one, they're both the same, but let me see what this measures here. Okay, I got room to trim. And this is our vellum cardstock. And I cannot remember the price exactly. Sorry. But it is online. And you can go find it at my Stampin' Up store, kathyschmitt.stampinup.net. All right, I'm trimming this vellum to 4 by 5 1/4 because I want to use it as a layering piece. And I also need a piece of white. So now what I'm going to do is color. One of my favorite things to do. And let's see here. I am going to, all right, and I need, I'm just getting my markers here. All right, I think I'm going to go with, I've got, this is my color palette. I've got Strawberry Slush, Timid Tiger, Shaded Spruce, Light and Dark. I don't know which one I'm going to use, and Dark Lemon Lolly. And what you do to color on vellum is, this is the front, you're going to flip it over. And it's like, why are you coloring on the back? But I'll show you. So I'm going to take my dark Strawberry Slush marker and I'm just going to color in. This is one of my most favorite techniques in the whole wide world. And then they stopped selling vellum. So we couldn't do this technique and still show Stampin' Up! Products. And now, luckily, they have brought it back. And so I'm just going around the outline of the flower, right? And I'm going to do all my flowers like that. Let me do this one over here, and then I'll switch colors here. I'm not shading. There's no need to shade when you're coloring the vellum. This is like, it's great because it lets you just be like the quick kind of coloring that we all love to do. I mean, who really wants to spend their time fuss budgeting about coloring? All right, so I've got my flower. I'm going to put Timid Tiger in the center, like so. Okay, and then you do your leaves with the green and the yellow, and when it's all done, you flip it over, and the best way to show the colors off is to put it on white. So here it is. Oh, thanks, Debbie. Debbie said the vellum is $10. It's 12 by 12, and the code number is 167099. So this piece of vellum is colored, and on the back, the whole thing was colored on the back. And then you just use, well, where did my tape go? Oh my, there it is. I was going to say, who is in my room taking my tape? Okay, the best place to tape vellum is behind a shape. So, and then it won't show, okay? So, hi, Wendy. And so this is what it looks like. That is this piece. So I'm just going to hold the white. See how the white makes it really show up? So when you put it on the cardstock, it picks up in all the spaces. It picks up that pink or whatever color you are doing, where the white lets the vellum stay translucent and lets your colors come through, but just as an opaque color. And then I love this stamp from the Cutest Crew, Just a Little Hello. Hello. So that's one of my cards tonight. And let's go back to making this one. So I'll put that aside. I didn't need to get all my markers out after all. All right, so this piece is 3 3/4 across by 10 1/4 tall. And then I took my piece of gold, and I had, this is Secret Sea, no, Secret Sea, gosh, oh my gosh, it's Pretty Peacock. I'm really having a brain cramp right now, so sorry. Okay, I thought I cut a piece of Pretty Peacock, but I don't know where it went, so I'm just getting a second piece. All right, here's my, let's see if this is tall enough. I need a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. All right, let me take this one out. That one's almost too wide, but that's okay. We can cut that one down. All right, so don't let me forget that I need to go to Stampin' Storage and put my order in tonight for more of my pocket. They're called Project Pockets on their website, but I like these to keep my cardstock in. They have this little pouch in the front that I can keep my scraps, and then it will fit like almost 2, and then it has this little flap here, and I can put my label there. They even have like this little pocket, and I put some sprigs in there. You can put photos and stuff. I just needed a way to store my paper on my shelf, and the ones I was using from Amazon, they were too big. All right, let me make sure this is the right size. It's not. Let me cut that down too. I started with like 1/8 of an inch, and then I decided that was too tight. So I am going to cut that at 5 1/4. Alrighty, and I bet you this one is not 4. There. All right. So excited to show you this card, you guys. And there we go. Like that. So what I'm going to do is, let me adhere this piece of gold. If you buy the hot foiling system before January 4th, Stampin' Up! Is giving you a free hot foiling craft class. So I caught the tail end of it today. They're always recorded. You can watch them live or by recording. And I typically just watch if I am watching it live, I never craft with them. I just watch. They give you a prep video of what to get ready, but I like to watch them. And then I go back and make the cards when I can. So see how pretty that is with that gold lining. And then I have a piece of white that I already cut, and I have my tag. And my piece of white, you know, has disappeared. But I have another one right here. I had them already and I stacked them up and then I moved them and now I'm missing some of my pieces. But that's okay. It's just paper. We all can stay calm. No catastrophes. All right, let me check the measurement of this again. This is 3 3/4 by 5 1/8, which means I did not necessarily cut that right, but we're going to go with 3 5/8 by 5 1/8. And I think that will give me an even border all the way around. Let's check that before I go on here. Oops, I got to cut a little more. Oh yeah, I need 5. I don't know what I was thinking. Because my green was 5 1/8. Silly me. Alrighty. And I have to say hi to my mom and dad. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. I will see you Saturday at my card class. All right, so let's go ahead. And you know what? I think I'm going to, well, I already stamped this. Here's the one I wanted to use. So, congratulations on your achievement. I'm not going to stamp the inside just yet, so I'm just going to tack it. Well, you know what? I'm going to put enough tape on, but I'm going to not overload it, so if I do make a mistake on my stamping, I'll be able to peel it off. All right. So, like that. So I'm getting the stamp set. There's a stamp set and die set that goes with this. And it's not the exact image. It's meant to show you a little different look. So let me put this on dimensionals. And actually, let me get my gold string thread. And let me get that brochure just so I'm sure it's done printing. So the foiling system, you also will get this brochure to print out. And here's the gold foiling I just did, right? Here are the leaves that can be die cut using that. There's sentiments. Here's that big floral one I just did. Here's some numbers. They've got a butterfly one, and you can get foil in silver, gold, and pink. I like to call that rose gold. But so here is what the the system looks like, all pretty in the picture. And here's an example of the butterflies. So if you foil the butterflies, then you take the dies and cut out the butterflies. So it's pretty cool. So this is the number for the hot foil. It's 170009. And it's $160, and it comes with the silicone mats, the hot foil system, a magnetic plug, which I love that, the magnet holder, and it comes with the 2 shims that I used. And for a limited time, it's including the craft class, which is a $30 value, as that one is free. So if you're shopping and you see the hot foil and you see the card class, do not buy the card class because you're already going to get it for free. Okay? And here are the offerings that we've got. Here's that leaf one. So the stamp set is called Botanical Glow. And I'm thinking I might have ordered it as a bundle, which means I'm going to get 2 of those. I'll have to double check that. So it doesn't have dies. It only has a stamp. So it looks really pretty when it's stamped and then the foiling is behind it. The butterflies comes with masks. This is Echoes of Detail, which to me is like a grunge. I love that. And this is like a scene. And then they've got frame ones. And the stamp set that goes with it is like floral and stuff. So you can just get the hot foil. You don't need, this has dies, hot foil dies. So it comes with the hot foil plate and the dies to cut it out. And then you've got flowers. This is great because these are words and they all go through at the same time. And there's a little notch where they line up the die with the hot foil plate, so you can die cut them and get them really straight. And I like this one, the classic greetings. They're nice, a good size, and then you got your bubble cut out right around it. Now this one is on back order. Classic greetings, and that floral is on back order. And then the Swiss dots. Oh my gosh, you guys, wait till I show you what I did with that. Okay, so here's the words. See, they come out. You get all these words on one pass. Here it is on the foil sheet. And you can die cut them and keep them for when you need a sentiment. I love that. Okay, so let's finish putting this card together, and I'm going to show you what else I made because I think it's going to knock your socks off. Oh, Saturday is my Christmas in July class. I can't wait. I have my bags for everyone. Sort of. Well, I have all the tear and tape on them. All the pieces are cut. I just have to sit and make the bags. And I've started making my Christmas cookies. We've got scones on the menu. So maybe I don't want this. I did it on this one, but that was because it was a tag. Let's see what this looks like. Maybe I don't want that. So this one is a congratulations card. And it's hard for me to cover up these leaves. So pretty. Okay, so you know what? I'll just tie a single bow and just adhere it. Oh, actually, you know what? I'll put gems on instead. I have some nice gems that I can use. All right, so I have got these in color. This gold would look okay. This shimmery one, that's more silver. And I have the in color butterflies. Let's see if that's gonna look good. That's kind of fun, right? Everybody loves butterflies, and I'm going to try the white one. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Let's see here. That's perfect. There. Very lovely. Okay, so that gets that card done. So I've got 2 cards done. Let me show you my other fun stuff with the foiling. And I'll show you why Debbie and Cindy said I've turned into a foil monster. So here are my cards. You can look at them. I'll put these together. Or actually, let me put that one on top because it will keep those down. Okay, move that out of the way. And here is what I played with the other night. So keep your negative pieces because you can run through, you can use all the scrap, you can run through, you can use it as a negative and adhere it. So I'm going to show you. So here is, so I put this one through and I got this piece. It's right here. So it looks like this, okay? That's what the piece looks like after I foiled it. Onto my card. So I just dropped some on the floor, so hold on a minute. Let me put them back. All right, so, and I found my pretty peacock. So this was the first pass with the and then it left me with all this negative. So I tried to roll it through to pick up the full negative, but I was missing a shim. So see how it's, you can kind of see a little bit of the pattern, but not much. But I'm not throwing that away. That's a perfect grunge piece. So then I said, oh, let me run through it again. And I got another grunge. So to me, these are perfect layers. You can cut it in half, or I could do a strip, lay it on a card as my grunge piece and have something, the leaves or something in a different color coming off. So the possibilities are endless. And then this is my last one. You can still see some of the flowers. There's a leaf. So I didn't get a perfect one. If I had had the correct shims, then the whole negative would have transferred on here. So I am going to still try to get that full negative, and I will let you know what my shim sandwich is. That's a tongue twister. All right, and then came the Swiss dots. Oh my gosh, you guys, here we go. So you run it through the machine and you get your foil that has dots. And the dots are, I don't know where my die is at. Oh, it's right here. So you get a background piece that has these dots. It reminds me of the dot game. Remember when you did that and you connected the dots and wrote your initial in? So you have this. Well, there was a lot of foil in between these dots. So here's my first one. I mean, came out really nice, huh? Then I just slid the foil over a little bit and ran it through again. So, because see how much real estate is between these dots? All that purple that you see is the gold negative. So I just kept moving it over and getting more and more dots. This is with the same piece of foil. So this is Night of Navy, Gorgeous Grape. This one's Berry Burst. And I have a couple spots that I ran over the same dot, so there was no gold to transfer. But you know what? My sentiment will cover that right up. Here it is in real red. and Pretty Peacock. Isn't that fantastic? So I got from one 4-inch by 5.5-inch piece of foil. I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 uncolored cardstock, and I forgot my cardstock twice, so I have 2 foilings on my plate, so that would have given me 12 pieces of cardstock. And I got 2 pieces of vellum, very grungy, and that looks perfect. And here is what's left of my, let me get a white piece to show you. This is what's left of my piece of foil. So it started with all this space in between, and I just kept sliding it over, moving it around up and down, and just you can kind of feel the bumps, and they are in a row. So once you kind of get a couple lined up, all the rest come. So I'm going to use this piece too as a piece of background. You know, I can die cut it into leaves. That would be kind of cool, or just cut it in half or a strip and use that as a background piece. So 1 piece of foil, 10, 12, 13 plus 2 on my shem. I think that's great. So save all your negatives, put them in a pencil case, one of our older Stampin' Up clamshell cases. And today Sarah showed she just took a piece of white cardstock and folded it in half and made like a little card base, if you will, and then slid it into an empty one of these and kept her gold separate, her silver and the pink. So she had all these scraps. And then in the craft class for the gold foiling, Melody was showing how to use all the little bits and pieces of scraps. So they had this leaf one, and they had like a scrap of gold, then a scrap of silver, then another scrap of gold, then a scrap of silver. And she put them all over in different patterns. And when she embossed it, or hot foiled it, it came out as the 2 different colors. It was amazing. That's the class you're going to get for free. So don't miss that opportunity. It's anyone who purchases the hot foil system between now and January 4th. So that is all I have to show you tonight. Pretty quick and easy. You get operating instructions with your system. There's, I have a little cheat sheet for your beep beeps and your colors on your buttons that you got to push, because honestly I couldn't remember. I just kept putting my die on top of it. And then you also will have the opportunity to download the brochure, which will show you, but you don't have to print it. I just printed it for you so that you would see it. So let me come back to see you guys. Let me see where, oh, here's my mouse. So what did you think? Was that amazing? And that is my second play with the hot foiling system. I need to get a drink. Hold on. Okay, thank you. That was my second play with it. So imagine when I get it all the kinks worked out, and it's going to be great. Now it doesn't replace like the heat gun embossing. That's still one of my favorites. But this hot foiling allows me to do some bigger background ones, or have some of those sentiments already in a little container. So if I want to teach a card class and say I have, a card class with people at the independent apartment where my mom and dad live, if I want to teach a class there, I'm going to have those sentiments all ready to go so they can just pick through and say, I want a birthday, I want to thinking of you, whatever. They're not going to want to emboss anything. So quick and easy, right? So let me see if there's any questions on here. You guys really love it. Yeah, it's amazing. And the vellum can be heat embossed too. So Anne, with the heat embossing, you can emboss a floral image on vellum, flip it over and color. You can color with colored pencils. Use a blender brush to smooth them out if you want. You can color them with our old Stampin' Write markers and the blends. So lots of opportunity to color. And you can use the blending brush and color however you want. Like I have seen some people take this and blender it like on the diagonal with different colors and really make a beautiful pattern. So I don't see any questions. So thank you all for joining me. I'm sorry I was late. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up, share my video, and leave me a comment because all those things help my channel grow. And that I appreciate. So take care. And oh, hi, Kathy. Yeah, so take care. Oh, and let me remind my Paper Pumpkin subscribers, Debbie and I will be doing our Paper Pumpkin craft along on next Tuesday night. It's at 7 o'clock Eastern time, which is 6 o'clock Debbie's time. Debbie has a YouTube channel too, and it's Frankly Stamping. So check her YouTube channel out. And we collaborate together on our Paper Pumpkin alternatives. It's really a lot of fun. And then for our team, we have mystery stamping August 3rd. So that's going to be really fun. So I hope that if you're on my team, that you participate in some of these events. And if you want to join us with all this fun stuff we got going on, then let me know. And they have a great new joining process now. It's so much easier. What you do is when you join, it's $99 and you sign up to be a demonstrator, you fill out your form, click, and you're done. No more than 5 minutes. Then they email you a coupon code for $125. So you paid $99 and they email you a coupon for $125. And then you just go shopping on your demonstrator page. So you put your items in your cart and then you put in your coupon code and say you go over the $125, no problem. You will get your 20% discount on anything you go over. It's before you had to select the $125 right on the spot and you couldn't go over. And it was so hard to get it right at $125 and nobody wanted to leave money on the table, right? So now it's like a coupon code for $125. And if you go over, you get it at a discount. I mean, I signed up as a discount and now it's a little hobby jobby for me. I teach classes, but mainly I make cards because it makes me happy to send them. So it's really a great way to touch other people. And that's it. So take care, you guys. Have a nice weekend. Bye.